Next postgame show is presented by Tri-State Audi. Visit your Tri-State area Audi dealer today. Down 19 at the half, fourth quarter. It's OG Anunoby for 3, and the Knicks within 2 with about 5:40 to go. But Ayo DeSumo had 22 points off the Bulls bench. He outscored the Knicks bench by himself. Knicks bench total 21. He had 22. And the Bulls beat the Knicks tonight 135 to 125. Great to have you with us here from our Delta MSG studios. So the Knicks now 0-1 in the NBA Cup. They finished the road trip 0-3. They're now 2-3 on the year. 4 of the 5 starters, Allen, scored at least 20 points. The problem tonight, the defense. 135 points allowed by far. Yeah, it's only 5 games, but by far the most the Knicks have given up in a single game so far this season.
Yeah, we knew that the Bulls are going to be another team like Miami. They play fast. They get downhill. They're all about getting in the paint and scoring. They certainly did that, but they also shot the 3 at a high rate. First half was mostly defensive issue. The offense really got it going in the second half, third quarter. I thought Karl-Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson really tried to set a tone in that third quarter. Well, this was a winnable game. Yeah. Once again, a winnable game. It came down to making shots late, and those shots that they were making that got them back in the game, they could not knock down the stretch.
Cut the lead to 2 with about 5 minutes to go with an Anunoby 3. And you would think Jalen Brunson to finish off the game, but Jalen's looking to really set his guys up. I thought he did a good job of facilitating, getting some wide open looks for Karl-Anthony Towns in that fourth quarter in crunch time. But the bottom line is you're not going to win any games allowing a team to shoot 54% from the field and 46% from 3. I mean, that's just unacceptable defense. The Knicks are getting shredded defensively. They started off the season well defensively. Mike Brown's still trying to figure out who he can trust off that bench. And guys got to step up and start saying, I want to be a guy you can play and give minutes to, and I'm going to produce. Because right now, the bench production is not good. And he's giving a lot of guys shots, and at some point, he's going to have to shorten that bench and put guys out on the floor that he can believe they're going to get the job done, because the Bulls bench completely outplayed the Knicks bench.
Well, Allen, you can make the point that Mike Brown did shorten his bench. I mean, Yabusele, he's coming off the knee injury. He played only 3 minutes, and Pollak played only 4 minutes.
Yeah, it's definitely clear. What Wally's saying is definitely something that Mike Brown's got to start seeing and realizing that there are some guys that, like even Josh Hart only played 15 minutes. That's a guy that last year was playing 35, 36, 38 minutes and was such an impactful player. We know he's dealing with a lot of things physically. But bench, you mentioned the scoring, 50 to 21. But the bench players who did play in this game, you get 6 for 22 shooting off the bench, 5 for 17 from 3. And that's part of the problem, is that you have guys coming in that maybe defensively, you worried about matchups, but you got to have somebody that comes in, like you said, and is like, I'm going to lead the way on the bench. Yeah. I'm the guy that comes in, and I'm going to set the tone. You thought Jordan Clarkson was that guy when the Knicks signed him, but there wasn't a lot out of Jordan Clarkson in this game, at least offensively. He played less than 13 minutes in this game. Yeah. So there's a lot, I think, Mike Brown is trying to figure out with his rotation and also what he can trust off the bench. But as you both said, this starts with defense.
Mitchell Robinson's first game of the year, 4 points, 11 rebounds, looked pretty good in about 19 minutes. But Wally, down the stretch, talked about it, Knicks within 2. They're down 22 in the first half, down 19 at halftime, had a great third quarter, and they're right there in crunch time down 2, but they could just not take the lead.
Well, they couldn't get stops. That was the main thing. In the fourth quarter, I was just saying, let's go, guys. Buckle up on the defensive end of the floor. Deuce McBride seems like the guy that Mike Brown likes having in at the end with those starters. OG Anunoby hit a couple big shots from the corner, but here a blow-by. Mikal Bridges, you got to be more disciplined defensively. Josh Giddey had a career high against pretty good perimeter defenders in the Knicks, and then Vucevic put up 26 on Karl-Anthony Towns and company. The Knicks were matching them shot for shot, so the offense wasn't the problem. That was another blow-by in the fourth quarter. 5 minutes to go. You need a stop. 5 seconds to go on the shot clock. Here's another one. Karl-Anthony Towns, the and one. Vucevic just outplayed Cat tonight. Cat was a little bit better, but when the Knicks needed a stop and one-on-one to get a play that could help you win this basketball game, the Knicks could not get the stops they needed.
Now, you see the points off turnovers. That's a problem. But
points in the paint, too.
Yes. Well, we knew that, right? We talked about that previous. Knicks fouled 25 times. Look at the free throws. 35 free throw attempts for the Bulls as well. That's another sign of a struggle on defense. When you got 25 fouls, when you're putting a team on the line 35 times in a game, that's a big part of your defense. And I think the Bulls, to their credit, look, they're 5-0 for a reason. They've gotten off to a great start. They're running people out of the gym, and they keep you off balance because they aren't a drive and kick team. They're a drive and keep driving team. Like, they really put a lot of pressure on you defensively one-on-one, and the Knicks did a ton of fouling in this game, and they were very off balance defensively.
And you saw that. You totaled up the bench differential. I mean, so much has been made of the potential for the Knicks off the bench, but outscored 53-21. Monica McNutt in the pregame show wore the outfit that the Knicks' best defensive player of the game gets this year. Monica, no one's getting any outfit post-game tonight, are they, after what happened in Chicago?
Yeah, in the true Halloween spirit, that ghost, it disappeared. It's gone. It's trapped. I don't know. It's in the grave. It's got to be resurrected. Listen, here's my thing, guys. I wasn't quite sure. Wally, Hahn, help me out. The mentality, I think, in the first half, by the time we got to the fourth quarter and it was a ball game, that's sort of what I expected. We got two teams that have run up and down the floor, like evenly matched. I don't know, as we look at the numbers, I think, and I don't know if you guys realize this, but the Bulls had 1 turnover in the first quarter. Yeah. And at halftime, the Knicks had 8 turnovers, and the Bulls had 16 points off of all 8 turnovers, right? And so I just think there were some self-inflicted wounds. I will say, as someone who's kind of really watching this offense develop, there were some better reads tonight. We saw that corner 3 that continues to be a valuable weapon. But there's a little bit of competitiveness that I wasn't quite sure. I don't know. It was like a missing thing that I couldn't quite identify.
You know, and Monica, I'm glad you said that, because you don't want to say not trying hard or not playing hard, because you obviously know that they are. But maybe sometimes when you're trying to figure things out, there's like a hesitancy to what you're doing, and it makes it look like you're a step slow, which then you're not as intense, right? The Bulls they knew what they wanted. They went head down, right, Wally? Like sometimes that can happen with a player. Just a little hesitation makes it look like you're a step slow.
This is a young, athletic Bulls team early in the season that's hungry to prove themselves. And every player went out and played like that. And I love that analogy. Where's the compete level? Like you said, Monica, where's the Knicks just looking like they're not going to accept getting beat off the dribble? They're not going to accept, threes going in over a contested hand. It just looks like the Knicks are thinking, like you said, Alan, I couldn't agree more. They're just a step slow because they're thinking in a new system, and they're not just reacting. The game of basketball has to be all your instincts, all your reactions, and I think the Knicks right now are just a step behind where they need to be.
Monica, we've detailed it here. You probably heard us talking about the bench differential. Huge edge tonight for the Bulls. What do you think about that?
53-21? Listen, I think this is this type of night, to Wally's point, that the Bulls will be like, this is what we're capable of, right? In terms of their starting lineup, their bench unit, and take nothing away from them. I thought they did a really good job of getting back and kind of slowing down the Knicks. But I guess, and I know we kind of just said this, to me, when Karl-Anthony Towns decided to attack and use those snap drives that we've heard from Mike Brown, they didn't have an answer for him. And we knew that going into the game. And so, I'm willing to give this team some time to continue to calibrate. And maybe somehow, and Tyler mentioned this on our broadcast, maybe the 2 days off, there was a little bit of rust as opposed to rest in terms of a Bulls team that just played a Sacramento squad on Wednesday night. Like, we'll throw all those factors in. I do think this is an incredible learning opportunity for the Knicks. But you got to give the Bulls credit on that one. That's for sure.
Yeah, the young Bulls were outstanding. And as far as the bench goes, Tom Thibodeau, he played his guys a lot of minutes last year for a reason, because he is going to have a short lease with production. And if you come in off that bench, you get bulk minutes. I consider good bulk minutes for a bench player 15 minutes. And a guy tonight, like Josh Hart, played 15 minutes and 9 seconds off the bench, went 0 for 1, no points, 1 rebound.
That's
very unlike him.
Not in character.
Not like him.
So unlike, not like him. But at the same time, when you're getting minutes in the NBA, you have to produce, or it's putting your team behind the 8 ball to get wins. And that's just why at times last year, Tom Thibodeau, he said, if I can't trust a guy off the bench to give me quality minutes, I can't take the risk, because that puts us in jeopardy of losing basketball games. And at some point, the rotation is going to be slashed. And if you are not in the rotation, Mike Brown's going to go with the guys he can trust.
All right, Monica.
I do want to jump in with this before you let me go, though, Pidto, because I think, and again, this team will be in the Garden on Sunday, there's a real Josh Giddey problem. Like, there's a real Knicks Josh Giddey problem that's got to be figured out.
Can't
Literally,
guard 'em.
Wally, I said it on the broadcast. I was like, I hear my colleague Wally Szczerbiak in my head right now because there's a real giddy problem.
Yeah.
If Wally's in your head, he's in all our heads. It's all our problems.
Wally's usually giddy.
Welcome to the club, Monica.
So it's fitting.
Monica, have a great trip home. We'll see you Sunday.
Thanks, guys.
Giddy, career high 32 points. He always seems to get a triple-double
Did he
against
get
the
the
Knicks.
triple-double?
He came
He missed-
close.
No.
2 assists shy.
Yeah. Giddy, giddy, giddy.
Knicks
What a
down.
shot.
Giddy,
Knicks are down.
Giddy, 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 giddy. Again.
Oh, no.
Can we move on here? Knicks down 19 at
We're
the
going to
half.
see him on Sunday. We better shut him down.
Knicks down 19 at the half, 14-3 run Allen to start the third. Thrilling moment brought to you by FanDuel Casino. Get your thrill on. This run got the Knicks back into the game.
Yeah, and it really was led by the star players. I thought Brunson came out and was in attack mode. And Karl Anthony Towns also had a strong third quarter. Like this was what you needed to see. There's no hesitancy, right? He caught the ball, knew what he wanted to do. He's making the play. You saw the same thing with Jalen Brunson. Is just when I get the ball, I'm not thinking I'm going. But you also aren't letting the defense get set when you do that. That's when the Knicks were at their best. In every game so far this season, no matter what the end result was, even in the 3 losses here on this road trip, the Knicks have looked at times like that offense could be special. The problem is it's not for 48 minutes. It goes through lulls. And sometimes it's because when you bring the bench in, a lot of that continuity goes away.
Mm-hmm. All right, when we come back, we'll hear Mike Brown's post-game comments. His Knicks now 2-3. Also around the corner, the MSG 150 as we continue in the aftermath of a Knicks 10-point loss tonight in Chicago.
The Knicks post-game show is presented by Audi. Visit your tri-state Audi dealer today.
Welcome back. Knicks finished the road trip 0-3 after losing tonight in Chicago, 135-125. Over to the Wally Wall now with Allen and Wally, guys.
Well, I mean, obviously defense is a focus when you give up 135, but when you get 125, again, 18 of 45 from 3. A lot of the offense was there for the Knicks. We're going to show you what it's supposed to look like when it comes to the kick-out threes, when it comes to everybody being involved, including some screeners, Wally.
Screeners and Jalen Brunson just orchestrating the offense perfectly, running the pick and roll to perfection. When Mitchell Robinson's out there, he's got to screen and rim run, and that's going to draw defense. Now, here's the switch screen. There's the pick by Mitchell Robinson. Jalen Brunson does a good job getting the ball over to the corner. And keep an eye on Landry Shamet here. He comes and sets a nice little brush screen to get a little bit of extra time from Mikal Bridges right there. That's a great job by Shamet. Just being smart. That's a veteran play. Leads to a wide open 3 for Mikal Bridges in his favorite spot in those corners. Buzelis a little bit late. That's outstanding offense, ball moving. The defense can't keep up with how fast Jalen Brunson has been moving that ball off that pick and roll when he sees an opening.
I mean, talk about Jalen Brunson. You talk about a guy who creates a lot of gravity. When he starts driving, everybody's got their eyes on him. There's help defense. And when that happens, it leads to another open 3, and that's in the corner.
Just continuing to find OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges for those open 3s, and they are knocking them down at a high rate. This is late in the game here where the Knicks cut it to 2. This is the one I was talking about. Good screen by Mitchell Robinson. Brunson turns the corner, draws the big. Now keep an eye on Mitch rolling all the way to the basket, which occupies the weak side defender over here in Patrick Williams, and that allows OG Anunoby to get the open shot. Here Brunson probes, gets in the middle. Look at Mitch. Took the defense into here, occupy a defender by running to the front of the rim, and then Jalen Brunson can kick it out to a wide open OG Anunoby. This is classic high pick and roll set in the NBA, run to perfection by Jalen Brunson, and OG Anunoby was lights out from these corners, knocking down shots all over the place. Knicks offense is not the problem. They just need to figure out how to get more stops, especially in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Anunoby, who had been struggling knocking down open 3s and knocking down 3s in general this season, he hit 5 of 7 from downtown in this game. Knicks overall, 18 of 45. The starters did a great job shooting 3 again. We've talked enough about the bench, but 4 starters in double figures. The ball moved, 27 assists. I mean,
high double figures, all in their 20s.
Right.
But
it does at least show you, like what we're trying to show you, this thing can work once they figure it out. It's just they've got to do it for the course of 48 minutes.
No question. And, this young Bulls team is hot. You see them again. This is kind of like a playoff back-to-back scenario, home and home. Knicks better make some adjustments and come back with some answers at the world's most famous arena where they have been playing outstanding basketball.
Mike Brown looking for answers. So is the media. He is now meeting with them.
Real simple. Tonight, we lacked the physicality that we wanted to have and that we've been showing on the defense end of the floor. Our ability to guard the basketball was not good in the first half. We were getting blown by possession after possession after possession, and guys were finishing at the rim with no help defense there. And if we did bring help, they sprayed the ball like they play, and we didn't get the shooters. We didn't close with a purpose and get to their airspace to make them uncomfortable shooting the basketball. So our defense tonight, in the first half especially, in the second half we were a little better, was non-existent, and it starts with guarding the basketball. We have to be better guarding the basketball, and it has to be with a sense of physicality, because if we don't, teams are going to do exactly what Chicago did tonight on the offense end of the floor. We've lost 3 in a row. We've hit some adversity early in the season. Now I'm interested to see how we respond.
I think you said that after the Miami game, that adversity will be with you.
Yes.
In the street. You kind of feel like this is a good test right now.
It's a great test for us. It's early, but it's a great test for us, and I'm looking to see what type of resiliency we have as a group.
Another game where your bench gets outscored by a lot. How concerned are you about that? What's the fix and remedy there?
I thought Landry had great looks tonight. I thought Deuce had great looks tonight. I thought Jordan had some decent looks, and so we have to. We got to give it a little time first before I'm too worried about it. But our bench does have to play better. We got to knock those shots down, or we got to finish at the rim when we get there, or try to get out in transition to get a couple easy ones from those guys coming off the bench. And right now, we're not doing any of it.
One thing about the defense being non-existent, on an individual level, you have guys that should be able to guard their yard. Why do you think they struggled today?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I know there were a lot of things game plan wise that that we didn't adhere to, and I can give you a great example. They got a nice young team. Io's a great player. I think he scored 8 baskets. He hit 1 3, but 7 of his baskets, probably 6 of them, were going to his right hand. And we don't want to give up the outside, first of all, and secondly, we don't want to give up. We don't want to give up him to be able to get to his right hand. And we did that possession after possession after possession. And, when we close out the guys, we got to do the best we can, closing out, take away the airspace, okay, and not overrun guys. We overran about 4 or 5 guys in the first half. And when that happens, they get to the paint. Now the help comes, and that's where the spray threes come. So we have to do a better job on the ball, knowing who we're guarding, okay? And then on our closeouts, we have to do a better job of closing out, taking away the airspace, and sitting down and guarding.
Mike Brown's post-game comments presented by Chase. We're back from the corner 3 presented by Michelob Ultra Superior Light Beer. So, guys, Sunday, same 2 teams. MSG will be the site. Pre-game 6:30, game at 7. Rare to have a back-to-back, I think, like this so early in the season, but the Bulls are coming, and the Knicks will try to get even on Sunday night.
If you're a competitor and you're a player in that Knicks locker room, you love seeing this team again, because Mike Brown let the Knicks have it a little bit with his post-game press conference, and the Knicks got to find themselves. They got to compete at a higher level. They're going to have the home crowd behind them, and they've been very good at home. But you better come in with only one thing in mind: returning the favor and getting a win against these Bulls.
Now, you got to see them, so you played a game against them. You know what they're about. You had a much better second half. You want to build off of what you did in that second half, and obviously you'll have, like you said, the home crowd behind you.
Guys, the Knicks start November with 7 straight home games.
Huge. Longest
stretch at home since 13-14. They lose in Chicago tonight by 10.
The Knicks postgame show is presented by Audi. Visit your Tri-State Audi dealer today.
Welcome back. Sunday, the Bulls in town begins a stretch of 7 straight games at MSG. And as I mentioned in our last segment, that's the longest run for the Knicks at home since an 8-game home streak back in the 13-14 season. Next 2 weeks, all the games at home. We're back with more after this. Welcome back. The Knicks lose by 10 to the Bulls after trailing by 19 at the half. Here's Jalen Brunson after the game on the start.
I mean, we didn't give up, but, I mean, the way we started, just unacceptable.
What do you think happened on the defensive end that allowed them to only score 70-plus points in the first half?
I mean, whatever they wanted, and, yeah.
Mike coach was really harping on the on-ball defense today. It was, I guess you guys had certain game plan, like don't let so go to the right. Was there some problems defending on the ball today that you saw?
I mean, we just didn't have any game plan discipline. We didn't do what was asked of us. Coaches come up with a game plan, and it's on us to deliver. And I mean, we can't switch the game plan if we're not doing the game plan hard enough. You know, I mean, we just, I don't know what to say.
How do you make sure guys stay, I guess, composed in the middle of a 3-game skid? What's the approach to keeping guys level-headed going forward?
Short-term memory. After wins, after losses, it's the same. You got to move on, no matter what. You can't harp on it. I mean, you can't be too high, be too low. The next day, you just got to wake up, do what you got to do to get better, get more prepared, and get focused for the next game. And that's the beauty of the league. You're going to play again soon.
I wanted to ask you, Jalen, about Josh Giddey. Josh Giddey, what do you make of his form, and how good do you think he's going to be?
I mean, he's playing well, and he has them undefeated still. So, I mean, what he's been doing with this team has been spectacular. So, we got to slow him down on Sunday.
You guys only had 12 turnovers as a team, but it felt like in the first half there were some that allowed them to play fast and get into their rhythm. Then you guys limited it in the second half, and they didn't feel like they played as fast, but some untimely ones. How would you kind of characterize the turnovers and how it impacted the game today? I
mean, they impacted. They were timely. There were ones that probably like 5-point swings or 6-point swings, whatever they could be. Offense truly wasn't that much of a problem. We scored, 120 something. We got to lock it on defense.
All right, thanks, That's what we've been talking about, the defense. Please. Odd for this group not to follow a game plan. Were you struck by that at all? Jalen Brunson admitting that they didn't follow what they were supposed to do?
Yeah, him using the word unacceptable about how they started the game is how a leader should be talking after a game like this. And he's right to don't talk about turnovers, don't talk about the offense. This was clearly a defensive issue, and they've got to think about it for a day, and they get to play the same team again in their
That's the beauty of it. But that is concerning for a veteran team like this Knicks team with the lofty expectations that they have. I'm not saying it's going to linger, but at some point the honeymoon has to end, and you have to get back to work and realize that it's not easy to win in this league. Nobody is going to hand the Knicks anything. The Knicks are the team that everyone's talking about winning a championship, and the Bulls are just trying to figure out a way to rebuild their franchise to the greatness that they've had in the past, and they've come out focused to start the season at 5-0. So at some point the Knicks got to get back to, we got to earn wins through hard work, focus, listening to our coaches' game plans, and not just think you're going to walk into the gym and just outscore people. And that's what they looked like they thought they could do tonight.
I'm out of candy, or else I'd give you some for Halloween on the way out. Hope everyone enjoyed the Halloween night. We'll see you on Sunday, 6:30 pregame, Knicks game night, tip-off at 7. You can also stream our coverage on the Gotham Sports App. Want more than just a post-game show? Link your eligible TV subscription to stream Knicks games free, or subscribe today in the Gotham Sports App. Just go to gothamsports.tv to learn more.